G'day and welcome to another edition of Hef's Beer Reviews. Well, today I am reviewing these two beers here. We're going to do a blind taste test, a comparison between Heineken and Heineken Silver. Now, this Heineken, this is Australian Heineken, not brewed in the Netherlands. It is brewed in Lidcombe by Lion Nathan here in Australia. Has been brewed there, I believe, for the last 20 years. So if you're an unsuspecting Australian Heineken drinker, you may not have realised, but it is, as I say, brewed under licence by Lion Nathan. If you're a regular viewer of this channel or any of the other Australian beer reviewers, you would be aware that general opinion is that international beers brewed under license are nowhere near as good as the international imported version. In some cases, just completely different beers. The difference could not be greater. This one here, this is Heineken Silver. It's only been available in Australia for about the last 6 months or so, even though internationally it's been around for a few years. This one is not brewed in the Netherlands either, nor is it brewed in Australia. This one here is actually brewed by DB Breweries in Auckland, New Zealand. Of course, this is the ultra low or low carb offering from Heineken. It's also lower in ABV, 4% compared to 5% for the regular Heineken. Now, you have to forgive me because the writing on the back of these bottles is tiny. But anyway, I'll see if I can get the stats for you. So 99% carb free, it says 88 calories per serve. Sugars less than 1 gram, carbohydrates 2.9 grams. Here in Australia, the local macro beer brands about 6 months ago as well just went bananas, putting out ultra low carb versions. Tooheys, Hahn, Carlton, 4X, they've all got their own versions out. I did do a comparison between Hahn and Tooheys. In that video, I was certainly not very positive or complimentary about those beers, but someone who I don't think is a subscriber or regular viewer of the channel did make the point that those beers, that style of beer, they do serve a purpose. There is a target audience for those types of beers. So I was appreciative of receiving that information, because I've got to be honest, I wasn't really sure that medically speaking, at least, there was a reason for them. So 99% carb free. This is the regular one. This one doesn't have quite as much information, nutritional information. It is 10.6 carbohydrates versus 2.9 for the silver. It's got less than 1 gram of sugar as well. 139 calories for the regular and 88 calories for the silver. So there you go. That's all of the information. It's a long introduction, I know. So I'll quickly jump off camera. We'll get Mrs. Hef to do the pours into these Pilsner glasses, and we'll come back for the tasting and see what they're like. Catch you in a moment. Okay, we're back. As you can see, 2 beers in front of me, 2 Pilsner glasses. One of these beers is regular Heineken. One of them is Heineken Silver. Remember, the regular Heineken, 5%. The silver is only 4%. Low carbohydrate. Let's have a look at the appearance. There is a difference, mostly in terms of carbonation, I would say. I think the one on the left might be ever so slightly lighter in colour. They're both straw coloured, so they're both pretty light anyway. Very, very clear indeed. Small amount of white head. This one here, it's dissipated, it's just a fine ring now. This one is holding about half a pinky finger at best. Carbonation, definitely higher in this one here. Less carbonation in the one on my left. Let's get the nose. Oh, there's more going on in this one. I mean, the aroma is similar, but it's just very, very subtle in this one here. Oh, you know what? I mean, if you drink Heineken, if you've had Heineken, you know what it smells like. I very rarely drink Heineken. The last time I had it, I think, was at Allianz Stadium last season for a Roosters game. And that was the first time I'd had it probably in at least a decade, to be honest. This one here, I'm getting soda water vibes from the aroma. That cannot be good. So I know in my mind which one I think is the Heineken Silver and which one is the regular Heineken. What do you reckon? Let's give them a taste. Cheers. Okay. Look, we're getting a little bit of lacing there already. It's light in body. There's some sweet malt. It's got that European lager flavour to it. There's a little bit of lingering malt there. It's a reasonably dry finish. Let's see how this one compares. Cheers. Wow. Wow. Not a good wow. Look, that's Heineken Silver. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that one there is Heineken Silver and that one there is regular Heineken. There's a big difference in flavour. And look, Heineken does not promote the fact that this tastes the same as regular Heineken. Don't get me wrong. But there's a big difference. There's just so much less flavour, less character. I know with a lot of lagers that I drink, macro lagers, when I review them, I say that there's little to no bitterness. Believe me, this one has zero bitterness. And because there's no bitterness, to ensure that you don't end up with a beer that's just super sweet, they've just dialed right back on the malt as well. It's easy to drink. I'll give it that much. It's very light in body. There's a touch of dryness about the finish. I think this one's drier, what I think is a regular Heineken. We better just confirm. RH, regular Heineken. HS, Heineken Silver. So correct. Yes, you heard me. H, not H. All right. Look, what I don't have for you, unfortunately, is the price of either of these beers. in terms of a 6-pack or a case. I only bought them as singles, and I think they were the same price. I think they were $5 each from BWS. If you have a good reason, if you've got a reason to drink low carb beer, I mean, I guess it's not terrible. I've drunk, as I said in the introduction, I reviewed the Tui's and the Hahn, and I was harsh on them. But look, I've drunk Hahn Super Dry. I've drunk Pure Blonde. If you're old enough, you might remember, I've even drunk the old Carlton Diamond Draft. Blast from the past, if you remember the TV advertisement with the sumo wrestler. Yeah, that one. Green bottle as well, funnily enough. They're not my go-to these days. I guess at the end of the day, it's not a terrible beer. It's not offensive. There's no off flavours. There's just not much flavour to it. As that person commented, at the end of the day, it's probably not worse, or a whole lot worse at least, than the Australian macro lagers. So I guess it's a decent option. If you want that style and you want something different to the Australian offerings, then it's available. If I had to choose one, I'd choose regular Heineken. Just because it's got more flavour, more alcohol, more body, more aroma, more character. Not a great beer by any stretch of the imagination, but there you go. Let's give them both a score, because I've never reviewed Heineken, and obviously I have not reviewed Heineken Silver. When I did the Hahn and the Tui's, I think I gave the Hahn 2.5 and the Tui's a 2. That was 6 months ago. It's no worse than the Tui's. It's probably about on par with the Hahn, so I guess I'll give that a 2.5 out of 5. Heineken, look, head to head, as I said, I think it's better. So I guess head to head, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. So I'm giving Australian brewed Heineken a 3 out of 5. New Zealand brewed Heineken Silver, 2.5 out of 5. Been a long one. If you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time on Hef's Beer Reviews.